Joining me now with more on the Israel-Hamas truce, someone who has covered the region extensively, award-winning journalist Arwa Damon. Thank you so much for being here. I know that your experience really goes deep when it comes to Middle Eastern affairs, but also you're the founder of the International Network for Aid, which specializes in providing medical and mental health care to children in conflict regions. So my questions really are about the possibility of extending this humanitarian aid now that this two-day truce has been confirmed. So what can happen now that we know that this, at least, ceasefire should likely continue for 2 more days? How much of an impact will that have? How important is having that added time when it comes to getting that humanitarian aid into Gaza?
Look, Alex, the situation is so dire that any amount of added time is obviously going to be a benefit, quite simply because the bar is so low. But if we're really going to have a serious conversation about allowing humanitarian organizations to have the equipment that they need, the staff that they need, and to be able to scale up the number of trucks that are going through, the current system quite simply does not work. Right now, all aid and all humanitarian personnel have to cross through the Rafah border crossing with Egypt. This border crossing was never set up for humanitarian aid, and Egypt was never set up as a logistics hub for organizations working in Gaza. That aid always went through Israel, through one of 3 crossing points there, with the main and most significant one being Kerem Shalom. And that is why right now you're hearing a number of leading humanitarian aid organizations calling on Israel, calling on other countries to put pressure on Israel to allow access through Kerem Shalom. If you're wondering why trucks are so slow to move through the Rafah border crossing, well, it's because those trucks can't just drive across that border crossing. They actually go from Egypt, because remember, this is where Egypt, Gaza, and Israel all sort of meet together. So these humanitarian trucks go from Egypt into Israel, where they get searched by the Israelis. Then they have to cross back into Egypt. Then they go into the Rafah border crossing, where the Egyptian truck cross loads into another truck, and then everything gets moved into Gaza. So it's adding on an extreme amount of time per truck to be able to get through that border crossing. Additionally, you don't see the free flow of humanitarian personnel in and out of Gaza, and that makes it very difficult to work. Why do humanitarian organizations need to be able to freely move their personnel in and out? Quite frankly, because everyone who's on the ground in Gaza right now is beyond burnt out. And under, I guess, more normal circumstances in this kind of a situation, you would be able to move your personnel en masse in and out of the conflict zone so that those who are on the ground working with those who need the humanitarian assistance, who need all sorts of other assistance, are able to do their work and then are able to move out into a safer space. So the whole infrastructure around Egypt and Rafah is not conducive to scaling up to the level of what is needed inside right now.
So then, if I'm following you correctly, should the priority during this 2-day truce be to just continue getting that aid in, or should they be taking this time to actually improve that infrastructure so the logistics go smoother?
They can't improve the infrastructure. That's the problem. You're talking about an actual border crossing, and beefing up a border crossing so that it has the technology in place to require the level of security that Israel would require for anything moving into the Gaza Strip. That's not a 2-day affair. And that's why they built up the Kerem Shalom border crossing that I was talking about. That is the main commercial crossing for goods into Gaza. And that is where the vast majority of all of the humanitarian aid moved through, because that specific border crossing has all of the needed technology and infrastructure to be able to properly screen these trucks. Frankly, all they can do right now in these 2 days is get as much aid in and then get it as widely distributed within Gaza as is possible. Keep in mind also that there are restrictions on the fuel that's going across. So that fuel can only be used specifically for distributions. It can be used for the desalinization plants, and it also can be used at hospitals. But the fuel that's going through daily is roughly about 10% of what Gaza would normally need. What that fuel cannot be used for example, is things that the municipality would be doing. So sewage, garbage collection. There is filth all over the Gaza Strip. There is vast concern over the number of diseases that is going to be rising up from that. That fuel, for example, cannot be used for diggers that need to try to clear rubble, dig up bodies of the dead. And so you have these restrictions on fuel that are greatly inhibiting. And then you also have the logistics nightmare that is trying to get anything through the Rafah border crossing.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.